Okay, this is take two on this video because I already filmed the whole review and I have no sound. I think it's because I'm wearing this. It's very cold, so I'm wearing this big fluffy velvet robe, and my microphone was somehow hidden inside the robe, so no sounds. So I film all this video only to find out I have no sound. So I gotta start over. All right, so let's start over here. So we want to review this big yarn today, the big twist yarn, and this particular one is named Vortex. So I have been seeing it on the YouTube street, and I wanted to give it a try because the colors are just gorgeous. There is even more colors, and you can check on the Joann website, or if you have a Joann close to you, go take a look and you'll see so many beautiful colors that this yarn comes in. But I was specifically attracted to this because I love all the greens and blues. It reminds me of deep ocean. And so the colors for this particular one, the name of the color is Northern Light. It's like deep pool ocean looking. All right, but I really like the colors. I want to make a cardigan out of these colors. So, and the yarn was 2.99, which that's one of the reason why I ended up going to join to get this. 2.99 is an excellent price for that much of yarn. I mean, nowadays yarns are very expensive, and I heard some people comparing it to the Red Heart melange yarn. So I have one here that I will compare this to. And as you know, the Red Heart melange is, if you go to Yarn Inspiration right now, it's about 8.99. So 2.99 versus 8.99, that's a big difference. And to me, they look a little bit similar. So I will do compare review the two of them so you can see, if they are the same or not, or if one is better quality than another one. So let me give you the details about this yarn. It's a number 4 weight yarn. Yarn come in different weight. If you do not know, if you're new to the crochet world, you have fine weight, you have number 2, you have DKs, and you have number 3s. DKs are almost similar, and then you have weight 4, and then you have all the bucky yarn that are 6 or 7. But this one is a 4 weight, and it uses a crochet hook of 6.5, at least it's recommending. And for knitters, the recommendation is a 5.5 knitting needle. The recommendation on the yarn label, if you want to make a blanket, it says it's a 4. You'll need 4 of this to make a blanket. And yeah, if you want to make a 50 inches by 60 inches, you'll need 4 of this. If you want to make a pillow for adult size, it recommends using 2 balls. If you want to make a scarf, it's 2 balls. And if you want to make hat, it recommends 1 hat. Again, these are recommendations of the yarn company. I think they're a good starting point if you're planning on making anything. I did not see a sweater or any type of garment recommendation. And this is why I bought this yarn for. I want to make a crochet cardigan. So, other details about the yarn is 328 yard, 5.9, 5.29 ounces, 500 meters, and 150 gram. It's 100% acrylic. And the wash recommendations are machine wash cold, do not bleach, dry flat, do not iron, and do not dry clean. The dry flat is always questionable if you're gonna make a blanket. I don't know who dry blankets like this. But anyway, I will run this through the machine also. I'll make a sample, wash it to the machine, and see what it comes out looking like, and dry too through the machine. Because if something is dry flat only, then that limits what you can make with this. If you're gonna make a bedspread, that's gonna be very heavy to try to lay this out and dry it. But you can make a shawl. A cardigan might be okay because you can always lie that down and dry it. So let's move on to sample. I want to make a sample so you guys can see what it looks like worked up, at least for this particular color. And then you can decide if it's for you or not. Okay, so I experienced a major, what they call in the crochet world, yarn barf, where when a whole bunch of yarn comes out when you try to pull the end from the center. So be aware of that. If you are going to be using that yarn, you have to deal with this. So I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it around. Um, yeah, this is so 7 millimeter hook. It's pretty okay for me. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and crochet. The moss stitch is a multiple of two, and so is the thicket stitch. Now I know some of you might question the way I crochet. This is how I learned. So I try to wrap it on my fingers and do like everybody else. But unfortunately, I found that was slowing me down because I just could not. And that's another thing about me. When I'm counting, I have to count in Creole or French. Um, I can count in English, but I eventually get lost. So I'm just going to stick to what I'm comfortable with. And so that's a French lesson for you, counting in French. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. So 26. I have 26 stitch. It's done. I have worked a couple of rows of the mask stitch, and let me turn it around so you can see this is what it looks like. As you can see, all the different, it's a small sampler, but I think that's how it's gonna look. All the little stitches are there. You can see them, but again, like I said, this is not a yarn where you want to do cable and all this other complicated stitch because it's just not going to show. As far as drape, I think I have pretty decent drape because this is how it looks like over my fingers. Yeah, this is gonna look nice if I end up using that stitch. Now, as far as softness, it felt softer when I was touching it and the skein, but as I was working it, it is a little bit on the rough side. Not like Red Heart, that's the only one I can think of. And it's nothing that's gonna shred your fingers, but it is not extremely soft. It's not buttery soft, okay? It is soft enough for an cardigan. I will not recommend making a t-shirt, especially if you plan on wearing it in the summertime with this yarn, because it is a little bit on the heavy side. I mean, it's a 4 weight, and depending on what stitch you choose, you may get overheated. Stay tuned for the second sampler, and then after those two samples are done, I will wash them and tell you how the yarn fares in the washer and dryer. The thicket stitch, I think it's also called the Suzette stitch, if I'm not mistaken. And as just like the first one, is a multiple of two. So we got 26 chain, making sure my chain is not twisted. All right, and then now we're gonna start the thicket stitch or the Suzette stitch. I really think they are the same. Second chain from hook, you do a single crochet followed by a double crochet in the same stitch, and then you skip one, and the next one. It's a very easy stitch. It's basically a single and a double crochet in the same space, and then you skip, and then you repeat the whole thing, and it's reversible, so really nice. And it's a strong contender for my cardigan. I really like this stitch, and it's thicker than the moss stitch, but it will keep me warm, so really like it. And again, the yarn color is just fabulous. This time I chose to make a shell stitch. So it's a simple shell stitch separated by a double crochet. And yes, it does look very nice with this yarn. So if you're wondering what this yarn look like if you were to make a shell stitch or something lacy, well, there you have it. That's how it comes out, and I really like it. And that will make a beautiful cardigan. Again, I don't anticipate this to keep me very warm because the shell stitch is a lacy stitch. But then again, I would like to wear this in the spring, so maybe that might work out. Maybe I'll put just another, I can wear a long sleeve, a light shirt under it, and we'll be good to go. And then I was going a little crazy with the samples. I made the alpine stitch, which is a very textured stitch. It's very thick, as you can see in my sample here. It's gonna be thick. It will keep me warm. No question about this. The yarn being acrylic and the stitch being heavy, I will be warm. So the only thing with this stitch, you do need to work on your tension. As you can see, some of my stitch are not uniform. They're kind of all over the place. So if I do pick that stitch, I will have to tighten my tension and make sure they all look alike. So really like this. This is a strong contender. It is a bit of a yarn eater. So, but I got 6 skein of this yarn. So whatever stitch I choose, I think I'll have more than enough to complete it. But again, bring it closer to you. Lovely. So I made 4 different samples of this stitch. This is all of them lined up. And I would like your help to pick which one. Watch this. Okay, so I washed them and I washed them with my regular laundry. I did not follow the yarn recommendation because I wash them with, cold water like I usually do my laundries and dry them with the regular laundry. So nothing special I did with this yarn. But again, understand this is not the recommendation from the yarn label. It says to wash and dry flat. But I'm making a cardigan, so I wanted to see what will happen if I wash it with the regular laundry. And I can say it looks exactly the same. Not much happened. I'm going to measure it to see if it shrunk. Before I washed it, the sample was 9 inches. So I'm going to see if it's remained the same. The only thing I can see, it did fuzz up a little bit. I don't know if you can see. There's a tiny little bit of fuzzing going on. And all the samples look pretty good. Um, the color didn't fade at all. So that's all good. So the only thing I would say, it's fuzzing up a little bit. So you might be mindful of how often you wash it. And if you want to follow the manufacturer recommendation as is. But for me, I'm going to wash this in a regular wash. I would just not wash it as often, I guess. Okay, let's see if the measurement is still the same. It was 9 inches, that particular sample. If you watch my yarn review, the sample is the shell stitch sample. I chose to wash that one because it's bigger and I can see better. So let's see. Yep, it's still 9 inches, so it did not shrink at all, even though I dried it on high heat with everything else that I had in the washer and dryer. So there you have it. It stayed the same. Again, just a little fun to use for my cardigan. The only one, my least favorite one, would be the moss stitch. I do love the moss stitch, but I don't see myself making an entire cardigan with the moss stitch because it's the single crochet. And if you know me, single crochet and we don't see eye to eye. So yeah, I'm gonna put this on the side. It's gonna be between those three: the ticket stitch or the Susan stitch. That will be number one. The lacy, lovely lacy shell stitch, and the comfortable but heavy alpine stitch. So tell me which one of those three stitch you like the best. Which one would you choose? And we'll go from there. So thank you again for clicking up on these videos to see me work the samples and review the yarn. And definitely let me know which one of those three you would choose. And I might go with that. And then we'll work our cardigans together.